Your need to be chosen is ruining your relationships. In this video, I'm going to explain why your need to be chosen is killing your ability to attract a partner, why you're not getting commitment, and how it's keeping you in a toxic relationship cycle. Lastly, I'll explain where this is coming from and the mindset shift that's needed to fix this. But first, hi, my name is Dr. Lilli. I help you heal from toxic relationships so that you can create the healthy relationship of your dreams. I've been studying the science of relationships for over 8 years now. I healed my own anxious attachment, and now I'm here to help you heal and create the relationship that you desire. So let's hop into the video. This desire and wanting to be chosen is so common, especially amongst those with an anxious attachment style or people who lean toward codependency. It typically comes from wounds that we acquired as a child. And these wounds and adaptive behavior that we created as a result was protective for us. The problem is now that we're adults and trying to have relationships with other people, it gets in the way and often causes more harm than good. When you have this innate driving desire to be chosen by another person, this puts you in the back seat and no longer qualifying the people that are coming into your life. Because you so badly want to be chosen by somebody else, you allow yourself to be placed in a position of weakness. You think somebody else choosing you is more important than you choosing them. This naturally puts anybody that you're dating or wanting to date onto a pedestal. You see them and their decision about you as more important than how you feel in the relationship, how you feel around them, how you're being treated by them, and that clouds your judgment. By putting them on a pedestal and desiring to be chosen by somebody, it will naturally make you more attached from the very beginning, from the first date. Because as soon as you find some sort of interest or potential in them, you start to imagine a future, imagine what life could be like with them. And because you've created this fantasy of everything that you could finally get by being with them, you hold on to potential or the idea of what things could be without seeing the reality of it. You get so excited and wrapped up in something that you created that they have yet to be an active participant in, and that sets you up for disappointment in the future, especially if this starts from a first date and doesn't move forward. When you stop qualifying the other person, you're giving away any and all power that you have, leaving you to feel like collateral damage to whatever actions and behaviors the other person takes. This is why it can feel so much harder when somebody ghosts you or rejects you, because instead of choosing you and instead of you feeling like you should choose them or qualify them, you feel like you are the victim of that circumstance, and you're unable to see that this is showing you exactly who they are and the fit that is being created between you two. So let me break this down a little further. If somebody ghosts you, that doesn't just mean that they didn't choose you. It's also showing you that they're somebody who can't have an uncomfortable yet respectful conversation about their interest in you. It's showing you that they are not emotionally mature enough to tell you directly that they're no longer interested in continuing the connection. If you've gone on a date or a few dates with somebody and they realize that it's not a good fit, it can feel very painful if you only want to be chosen. But it lessens the pain when you maintain the mindset and idea that you are qualifying them. By taking that mindset and holding on to the power that we're figuring out if this is a good fit for the both of you, you can more objectively see what worked in the few dates that you had with them, what didn't work, and also see that it is a blessing in disguise. They are not your person, and that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you simply did not get chosen. It just means that it's not the right match, but that there is an even better match out there for you. Next, when you only desire to be chosen, you allow yourself to mold and change and let go of any needs, desires, or boundaries that you have for a partnership. And this allows you to easily walk into situationships or toxic relationships because you're so excited about them and trying to be the best person that you could be for them, that you allow them to control the direction of the relationship, whether that is continuing to see each other without commitment or having a one-sided relationship where you're the only person giving and compromising and sacrificing, and they're just taking, usually without care for your needs, your emotions, or your boundaries. Situationships only happen if you're allowing the connection to continue. If you're saying, even though I want commitment, I would rather be chosen by this person and stay close to them in some form or fashion rather than getting what I actually want, which is a commitment, even if that means with somebody else. You're then saying, I would rather this person choose me because this validates me in some way, rather than find the match, the person, the relationship that I'm actually looking for. When you're in a toxic relationship, you're saying, oh, it's okay if they always ignore me whenever we get into an argument or conflict. They leave for the weekend and don't talk to me at all. They go out with their friends and flirt with other people because they're angry at me. Or they gaslight me and tell me that how I feel is ridiculous and stupid, that I shouldn't feel that way. Those are signs of a toxic relationship, and when you just want to be chosen by another person, you will settle for an unhealthy relationship rather than look for something that actually lifts you up. A relationship that actually supports you and makes you feel good about yourself. Wanting to be chosen, no matter who it is, whether they're a narcissist or simply somebody that just doesn't care enough about you. That desire to simply be chosen keeps you settling for less than you deserve. And deep down, this is because you really believe that you deserve less. Something happened to you, usually repeatedly, that made you believe that you weren't worthy of more, that you weren't allowed to have these needs, to have boundaries, to express your emotions. Maybe you tried to express your emotions to your parents and they shut you down. And so you learned that that was normal. Maybe you even believe that that's a sign of love. Or maybe you were constantly controlled, belittled, or felt like you were walking on eggshells. And so you learned that in order to have anybody around, you had to tiptoe and mold yourself to be whatever they wanted you to be in order to keep them happy so that they wouldn't leave you. And what's really bad about having a desire to simply be chosen and allowing your boundaries to be crossed and your needs to go unmet is that you're teaching whoever you're with that that is what you deserve. You're teaching them that it's okay to cross your boundaries. It's okay to treat you poorly. You teach them that however they're acting, you will accept it. And they will continue to push that boundary to see just how low you will go. Not only that, but you show them how little you think about yourself. And this is why it's so easy for people who are codependent, who have anxiety or fear of abandonment, to be targets of narcissists or people who exhibit narcissistic behavior. At some point, you have to realize that you are worth more than the way that they're treating you. And you have to show them and yourself that you won't settle for less. Because those that want to control you, that want somebody submissive who will allow them to do whatever they want to do, wants a person who thinks low of themselves. They want someone who will let them get away with their behavior. And worst of all, you teach yourself that this is what you deserve. Every time you allow somebody to cross your boundaries, to speak down to you, or to hurt you in some way, you're telling yourself on a subconscious level that this is okay, that you deserve this. And it reinforces the idea that you have to earn love or that you're not worthy of it in the first place. And that is dangerous. As long as you're waiting for this person to choose you, you're stopping yourself from having the relationship that you actually want. The more time you spend with somebody who doesn't want to or can't choose you, you're keeping yourself from the happiness that you deserve. And that is a form of self-sabotage. If that sounds like you, check out my video on self-sabotage. I'll link it right here. The longer you spend trying to get somebody else to choose you, not choosing yourself, and waiting for happiness to just walk through the front door, the longer you're keeping yourself from the happiness and relationship that you desire. And in the meantime, you're breaking down the belief that you even deserve it. And lastly, you create inauthentic connection. Even if your relationship isn't that bad, there's only little bits of dysfunction and unhealthy behavior, you've still built something that isn't really real because you've spent your time molding yourself to be what you think the other person wants you to be, making sure that you get chosen, which means you've changed who you are, you've likely suppressed your needs and your desires, and you've bent your boundaries or allowed them to be crossed on multiple occasions. And you realize one day that you're not even living a life that feels 100% true to you. This is why so many people after a breakup don't even know who they are, because they've let go of parts of themselves that are authentic to them. They've compromised what makes them unique in their individuality. They've morphed to become what their partner desires or just simply another version of their partner. And while it's natural to have some immersion and change as you grow and evolve with the person, it's not healthy to completely lose yourself. And if you've changed so many parts of you or suppressed and hidden the real version of you, then the relationship that you've built is based off of a character that you've created rather than who you really are. And how long can you live from a place of inauthenticity? Eventually, that will catch up to you, even if you maintain the relationship. It will show up as people-pleasing, as perfectionism, repressed anger, depression, or anxiety. And to the most extreme, it can even show up as chronic illness, autoimmunity, or cancer. Because that suppression of who you really are, the inauthenticity, creates a stress within your mind and your body. And that stress leads to inflammation, and it can show up as symptoms and disease. This is why it's so important to be real and authentic to who you are, to have a voice and share your truth. There are scientific links to all of this because your relationship doesn't just exist between you and your partner, but it exists in your mind and your body. And every choice you make, your body holds on to. So don't just do it for your own happiness, do it for your health. Authenticity is magnetic. Healthy partners want an equal partner, an authentic partner. Truly, everybody wants that, even if they have their own dysfunctional patterns. Whether they're dismissive avoidant, fearful avoidant, or anxious, they want somebody that can speak up for themselves, that doesn't just bow down, mold, and change themselves for them. That molding and changing and suppressing is a sign of lack of value and lack of respect. And what partners really want is somebody who is confident in who they are and what they want. The avoidants can appreciate it because it's clear and direct. The anxious appreciate it because it's something that they are afraid to even show, because they admire the quality that they don't have themselves. So everybody loves a confident and authentic, high-value person to be with. Somebody who can stand on business, they commit to who they are, and are dedicated to what they value and desire. But what really drives all of this? Why do you have this deep need to be chosen? Well, most of the time, it does come from childhood and the way that we grew up. Somehow we acquired a deep fear, a deep wounding that said that we weren't good enough. Maybe it was because we were hushed when we were excited about something, or we were told not to cry. We weren't allowed to express ourselves in an authentic way, or our parents would be upset, sometimes for no apparent reason. But we learned to suppress ourselves because we believed that we must have done something wrong. Children look at their parents and caregivers as being perfect, especially from a very young age. We start to learn and evolve and develop different perspectives as we get older. But in those early formative years, we can't believe that our parents would be imperfect. And so we believe that we must be imperfect. And we learn how to behave and adapt so that we are loved and accepted by them. And I say loved in quotes because just because a parent is upset with us doesn't mean that they don't love us. This need to be chosen comes from a deep fear of abandonment. And because we are so afraid that somebody else will abandon us, we choose to abandon ourselves. So how do we fix it? Start by becoming confident in yourself. Become confident in knowing who you are, what you desire, what you value, and the boundaries that you have. Become so sure of those things that you won't accept anything less. Switch your mindset to becoming the selector, not the one to be chosen. You do the choosing. Every time you go on a new date or build a relationship, you are looking through the lens of, is this person a good fit for me? Not how do I make them choose me? Stop asking why they aren't choosing you and start asking why you aren't choosing them. If they don't want you, you don't want them. Why would you want somebody who doesn't want you? Become the selector. That is how you get your power back. That is how you date and relate with detachment. Who you choose as your life partner is the most important decision you will make in your entire life. Treat it as such. Don't just try to be chosen. Choose somebody that is good for you. Somebody who you can create a healthy relationship with. Somebody that shows up for you and the relationship. It is better for you not to choose anyone than to wait around trying to be chosen by the wrong one. Start embodying that high value energy. Whether you want to think about it as being a high value person, man or woman, king or queen, however you like to think about it, embody that version of you. You bring a lot to the table. So you deserve somebody who shows up just as much as you do. And that doesn't mean it's in the same way. Everybody has their unique gifts and values, but somebody who is willing to be there and excited to be there as much as you are. Prioritize somebody who has emotional health, emotional maturity, is committed, is disciplined, is dedicated to their word and their actions. Choose somebody who wants to choose you. Stop trying to be chosen. Just be with somebody who actually chooses you. It shouldn't be a fight. It should be an obvious selection. Stop trying to force somebody to see your value. When you truly see your own value, you walk away from somebody who doesn't. So if you want to stop wasting time begging somebody to choose you or trying to get somebody to change to show up and be the partner that you want them to be, and instead you become the selector, the qualifier, the chooser, apply for one-on-one coaching with me. The link is down below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.